you are really waging, you are really bombing. You are facing some people whose intellect is very, very sharp, well trained, and you don't have a match. You remember the time the US came, used their intelligence to locate where the children were. What did we see? Army general coming on here. We now know where the children are. Where is it done? Intelligence I was shared with you. So what do you expect Boko Haram? You expect them to still kill them in the same place? Oh, they will scatter them. Then the task of even get them out becomes almost impossible.
Well, somebody on Twitter just tweeted a message saying that you made a point, but at the same time that there's a lot of emotion laced in what you're saying. And I guess what they're referring to is the issue of the president moving to Borno.
Well, to them it is emotion. But is it impossible?
Why will the president?
It's not emotional. I'm not emotional. I'm saying if I'm the president, I will do that. And other presidents have done that. You see, president moving to Afghanistan. Bush was in Afghanistan without announcement. They would just appear among the soldiers at the war front.
Those are two different cases.
Of course. Well, no, our Nigeria is not up to that. Of course, we don't have patriots.
Sorry, let's get the points right now. Yes. If Bush goes, former President Bush visiting Afghanistan, is not the same thing as moving his office to Afghanistan for 2 months.
I understand. Yes. It is a situation here that requires, if the president doesn't want to move, why didn't he issue the necessary orders? Okay. He could have issued the necessary orders to the armed forces and say, go ahead, secure that place. It is part of the territory over which I preside. I will never tolerate any other person to preside and give me results.
So, Mr. Ojo, are you implying that the federal government is not doing enough?
The federal government was negligent. It didn't do what it thought to do at the time it thought to be done. And I don't know whether they are benefiting from it politically or economically, but with what we are seeing, there is economic profit, there is political profit in allowing the situation to fester.
What do you call an economic profit from
economic
this?
Profit is when you allow a situation.
No, from this situation
from this,
now, yes.
I've just mentioned it.
What is the benefit to anybody? At the beginning
of Boko Haram's terror, we could have contained them with $100,000. We didn't. It was just in an enclave they started. They didn't start in 3 states at the same time. We could have contained them. But now they have spread. So we need $1 billion now. And we know what it means. Go to our roads. When you have a small pothole, they will be looking at it. They will allow it. They won't touch it. But when the road is now divided into 2, they will now award contract for millions of naira and dollars in order to repair something that could have been contained. The same thing with this. That is what I see.
Okay.
Mr. Akanni was shaking his head and wanted to make a point.
You see, the problem is actually that we have a government populated by individuals that are not only disciplined, but are also licentious. These are characters who don't believe that there is rule of law, that people should respect constitutional authorities, that there should be graduation, within authorities. Let me try to make more clearer what I'm trying to say. Shortly after Gusau, the National Security Advisor, assumed this office, I think after about 2 weeks, the soldiers in Borno were mobilized to go pound Boko Haram. And within a week, newspapers, the media were awash with reports that indeed the Nigerian army was succeeding. And then lo and behold, about 3-4 weeks later, we had reports again of breakdown in relationship between the National Security Advisor and his subordinates. And the president was there. He allowed the situation to degenerate. We actually got reports that Gusau had resigned. Perhaps I actually did. At some point, well, government came up with the lie, as usual, that Gusau was not resigning, that he never resigned, or that he had a slight ailment and that he was trying to recuperate and so on and so forth. And then that was the end of it all. So what we are saying is that the disregard, the disrespect for the rule of law that these characters in government have indulged in for years to oppress the rest of us has now even permeated their small circle and has begun to gradually consume them. And when this begins to happen, the impact of the incompetence, of the disorderliness, registers more on the larger society. And that's why we are witnessing what's happening today. Premium Times, to be specific, at some point reported some time ago that some of the officers commanding the troops mobilized to fight Boko Haram were just taking care of themselves with the resources, with the money that they were supposed to be paying out to the guys on the front line. And that there was gross discontent among the foot soldiers, that they were not motivated enough. And what happened afterwards? Decline in the improvement that attended to the assumption of office of Gusau. So corruption is actively at work. Lack of discipline is another factor. And then you can guess other things that will fall in place. Shakespeare says it all. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So there's hardly anything bad that we can imagine may likely happen that won't happen.
Okay, Mr. Ojo mentioned something about the Chibok parents and community coming together, and I'm sure you have heard about the alleged 100 million naira, shared amongst parents. You want to tell us your take on this?
Well, the most important thing from my own personal perspective is that the sharing of money is not an issue at stake now. Rather, what we are clamoring for, or what everybody wants, is how those guys will be released unharmed and in total body and return back to the country, to their parents. For now, about 15 of the parents are dead already. And there's another one threatening to die if the daughter is converted to a Christian, to a Muslim. And for now, some of the guys have been relocated to different cells. Some are no more even in Nigeria for now. Some are in Cameroon. The few ones that are remaining with them.
Is that based on some kind of intelligence or how?
There is intelligent network
that says that
they are not. You can't see them concentrated in one place again, because the threat under which they will have been removed failed, and because it failed, when the foreign forces are coming in to assist in locating these guys, they have decided to put them into packets and relocate them, and that is why you see suicide bombers coming out from different angles, emanating in different cities.
But there is this impression that these are not the Chibok girls.
I didn't say they are the Chibok girls.
No, I'm just saying that there is that impression. So you agree that they're most likely not the Chibok girls?
They are not. I've not said they are the Chibok girls. They could equally be part of the Chibok girls.
Are you insinuating that there is a possibility?
There is a possibility, yes. There is a possibility. After all, some of them are grown up. And you are aware too, there was a publication that the matured girls among them are married out at the rate of $12. And then the man even threatened to sell them out for 200 naira, or 2,000 naira, if for whoever is interested. That was a threat from Shekau. But those of them who have marriageable age, they were married at the rate of $12,000, which is the minimum amount of money. So what happened to the rest? What are they doing there? Yes, the women have roles to play in battle. They help to carry ammunition, they prepare food, they make the environment clean for them. But in the process of doing that, there are so many things that they could do. But the most important thing is that the government should return back to